The next question from Nabil from Bangladesh. Isn't it unjust to give one share of property to girls whereas 2 shares are given to the boys? Nabil has asked a question referring to the inheritance. And Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse number 11 and 12 that as for the inheritance of the children, the male, the son, gets double the share of the female, that is the daughter. If only daughters 2 or more, they get 2/3. If only one daughter, she gets half. After paying off all that, etc. And the verse continues, then what you leave for your parents get 1/6 if there are children. If there are no children, mother gets 1/3. And the next verse, Surah Nisa chapter 4, verse number 12 says, in what your wife leaves for you, you get half the share if there are no children, you get 1/4 the share if there are children. What you leave for your wives, your wife get 1/4 the share if there are no children, she get 1/8 the share if there are children. But I do agree, the question mainly posed is regarding the inheritance for the daughters and sons. Why do the sons get double and daughters get half? Daughters get 1 share, son get double share. Isn't this injustice? In Islam, the main financial burden of taking care of the family is on the shoulder of the male. Before a woman is married, it's the duty of the father and the brother to look after her lodging, boarding, clothing and all financial aspects. After she's married, it is the duty of the husband and the son to look after the boarding, clothing and all financial aspects. So in Islam, as far as the financial aspect is concerned, the burden is laid on the shoulder of the men and not the women. The woman need not work even for a single penny of her expenditure. That is the duty of the man in the family to take care of her. Now, why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained in the glorious Quran that the son gets double the share of the daughters? The reason is that the financial burden is put on the shoulders of the men. For example, if a father dies and after giving the share of the wife and the parents, there is $150,000 that are remaining from his inheritance. And he has got 1 son and 1 daughter. So based on the Quranic verse, after giving the share of the mothers and the wife, $150,000 has to be divided between 1 son and 1 daughter. So based on the Quran, the son will get $100,000 and the daughter will get $50,000. Now my question to you is that when the son gets $100,000, he has to spend most of that money on his family to take care. But when the woman gets the $50,000, she doesn't have to spend a single penny on any of the family member. She doesn't have to spend on herself. She can do whatever she wants with that money. So my question to you is that would you prefer inheriting $100,000 and spending almost all of it, maybe $90,000 on taking care of the family, or would you prefer inheriting $50,000 and not spending a single penny of it on the family? You can even not spend on yourself. Totally you can save it. If you want, you can spend on yourself. If you want, you can spend on your family. The choice is yours. So, but natural, any logical person would say he would prefer inheriting $50,000 and keeping everything for himself rather than inheriting $100,000 and spending almost all of it on the family. So in Islam, when the burden is put on the shoulder of the male, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also just. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse number 40 that Allah is unjust in the least degree. So if He's put the financial burden on the shoulder of the man, so but natural during inheritance, He gives the man in most of the cases double the share. In most, not all, but in most of the cases.